Hello everyone, we have been joined by FIDE Master Advik Agrawal from Pune. He's playing here at first Pune International Grandmaster Round Robin tournament. And in the first round of the event, he has just beaten Alexander Alexis from Belarus. So, hello Advik, what are your thoughts about the event and can you just take us through the game?
Yeah. So I prepared this 4 nights Scotch opening, which I had seen yesterday in the night. Knight d4, bishop b4. This is like the main theory and like the main line in this position. Castle. Now here bishop g5 is also a line c6, queen f3. But
Okay.
I choose to play h3, which is also a line. And here he thought for some time and played bishop e6. It was not my part of preparation. I prepared c6, rook b8 and c5. Bishop e6 he played. I thought for some second and just played queen f3 because this is generally the idea in these positions. Queen f3, now he played rook b8. And here I was thinking I had some options, bishop f4, bishop g5. And I thought, okay, let me first just play rook d1. Like now this d5 pawn could become weak because the queen is under attack. And here he played here he played bishop e7. I thought he would play here something like c6, but bishop e7 didn't expect. Then I played b3 because I wanted to develop my bishop, but then if I develop, then this pawn is hanging.
Correct.
So that's why I played b3. Now he played c6, bishop f4, rook b7, knight d2. My idea could be to go knight d4 and put pressure on this pawn.
C6 pawn, yeah.
And now he played c5 to stop that. Because now if my knight put on c6, then there could be some ideas here.
Yeah.
But now my knight is on e2, so this pawn is well protected with the bishops. Now I played bishop e5. My idea was to bring my knight to f4, put pressure, and also my bishop can take this knight sometimes too, and then this pawn could become very weak. Here he played knight d7. Here I was actually also thinking bishop b2, which is also fine. Then maybe c4 would come, but like bishop takes c4, and then the point is if d4, then this rook is hanging.
Correct.
But I choose to play bishop c3 to just avoid this any chin and tricks could come. And here he played bishop b6, which I was not expecting. I was thinking maybe he would play bishop f6, queen f6, and then maybe take knight f4, and just an equal endgame, which should probably end in a draw. I think.
Did you realize after bishop d6 he allowed knight f4 and it was a mistake by him?
Yeah. No, I think bishop d6 was not so accurate. I saw before knight f4 is coming. Like when I played bishop c3, I thought bishop d6 because it was logical to go to knight e5. But then I saw knight f4 is coming. And now here there was one variation with queen g5. But then I can play knight e6, fe6, and maybe just queen e2, put pressure on this bishop. And yeah, I think it's better. But here he fought for a lot and played knight b6, which I thought was just a mistake. Even maybe he could just play bishop f4, queen f4 and keep the position maintained. But I think I would be better because of double bishop at one point. He played knight b6, which I think was just a blunder because now I saw knight takes e6, f takes e6, and then here queen h5. Now this pawn is very weak and I am threatening to take. If s6, then queen d6, this is hanging, this is coming.
Correct.
So that is just lost. He played g6. I think his idea was maybe he thought bishop g6 to d4 is coming. Now the bishop would not open, now he wants to take. But I think he
How long it take you to find bishop g6?
I think it took 2-3 minutes because here there was d4, but I saw bishop e4. I think this was important. Now what
Rook is hanging.
Now he cannot take d takes c3. And I put my this pawn up, like rook g7, bishop b2. Now he played queen f6, attacking this pawn. I just played rook f1. Now I rotate and I can also bring my rook here. He played bishop f4. I think it was logical because now I idea bishop f6 to take. So bishop f4, then I go. Queen takes f4. rook a1. And okay, I was already thinking this position should be winning for me because this pawn is weak, this pawn is weak, my bishop
Correct.
is very strong on e4. So yeah, here it is I think it's better only. Now he played bishop now yeah, knight d7. This idea was knight f6. So this bishop could become weak, but now I just played bishop d3, attacking this pawn. And
Here he played knight f6, right?
no. First he played king h8,
Yeah.
which I didn't understand. I was thinking knight f6 because now I cannot take this pawn because of queen f3.
Correct.
And g3 rook takes g3, then it could be a perpetual. That's why I'm in this position. Here I was, if like he played knight f6, then I would have probably played queen e5. Now I want to trade queens. If you take, then I'm just a pawn up, queen f3, g3. And now rook g3, I can knight with queen g3. And now my idea is just to play bishop e2 to attack the queen. And then, okay, I'm just better because these pawns are very weak. But here he played king h8, which I didn't understand. I thought for some time and took the pawn. I think his idea was to play rook g8, but I can just play king h1 because rook g2 here he has a mate. And I was just better. I was like just winning there, but he played knight f6. Yeah, he played knight f6. And here, okay, if queen c5 and rook g8 is coming and I have some problems, but I have calculated this queen f5 move because if like he doesn't have time for rook g8, if I take, then I will just two pawns up. So here he played queen h4. Now I just played king h1, like it is very useful. So
Correct.
like there could be not any ideas. And yeah, here he played rook g5, queen f3. Here I was thinking maybe he would play rook g8 because now he has some ideas of knight h5, knight g4.
Correct.
Because this is played. But I probably would have played here rook e7, I thought. Because then s7
H7
is
is
like
fine.
takes, I can just take this. But here he played knight d7, which was I think the final mistake because now I played queen e4. Now if takes, then I'm just winning in the
Correct.
so he here played queen h5, but I now just got bishop e2, queen f7 only square, rook e7. And here he resigned because this is hanging, and also h7 is also under attack. So yeah, here I just won.
So how are you feeling after beating a strong GM in the first round itself of the event?
Yeah, I feel good. The fourth looks good, could defeat a GM, like it feels good.
And what are your thoughts on the first ever closed round robin event happening in your own city?
Yeah, it's a very good opportunity for me because it's happening in my city and like of course it's a GM norm, so I have some chances to do norm in my home city, and if it happens, it is I think very good for me. Like in my home city, if I'm able to do a norm, it would be very good for me.
So thank you, Advik, for joining us. I wish all the very best for the future rounds. Thank you once again.
Thank you.